Hey everybody, Keith here at Slight Misplay. I want to talk a little bit today about HeroQuest. The internet is going crazy about it, so let's talk a little bit first about what this thing is, and then we can get into why everybody is losing their collective shit over what Hasbro is doing with this new release. So first of all, let's talk about what HeroQuest is, what HeroQuest was. When I was about 12, around the time I was getting interested in D&D, but before I really even knew what D&D really was, I saw this box at Toys R Us. This box. This box. It's about this high on the shelf. Holy crap, it was huge. It's got a frickin' barbarian on it. And other, like, lightning and pink lightning and yellow lightning and stuff. And there was stuff inside. Feel this thing. Like, for a 12-year-old, it's heavy on the shelf. And it has minis inside, and I didn't even know what a mini was or what to call it yet, because that wasn't really a thing for me. It had cardboard terrain and stand-up doors and closed doors and open doors, and there were expansions on the shelf. Now, what the hell is an expansion? That's not a thing yet. What the hell is that? So I had to have this thing. I begged my mom for it. I got it for my birthday, probably my 13th birthday. Sounds about right. What the hell is it? So HeroQuest is basically the great-great-great-grandfather of Descent and Gloomhaven and all the other dungeon crawls that are out there. There's a million of them. And it's all in one box. Maybe 3 if you got the little expansions. Maybe more if you got the Advanced HeroQuest, which I think were British. I barely found out about those until I had to rebuy HeroQuest because I had to have all that terrain again years later, and then had to do it again 10 years later. I've bought this game 3 times. But I think Advanced HeroQuest was British anyway, so best not talk about that, Americans, anyways. So yeah, it's another dungeon crawler, but it was, for me, the first dungeon crawler. It's simple. It's roll and move, do a thing, and roll and move. Here's how you play. You got 4 guys. I think the elf is actually a female, but I could never tell. And when I play both my daughter's characters, the barbarian and the wizard, she makes sure that we call them she, so great. You got these 4 guys, so you've either got 4 friends who each play 1, or you've got fewer friends or just 1 friend, or you're like me and you had no friends and you spent most of the time with the game just playing through the first scenario over and over again, pretending not to know what the other you has on his map behind his screen, and you never play any of the other scenarios past the first one because one day you might have a friend, and then you're going to want to be surprised if they, God forbid, want to play Zargon. And so anyways, you are basically, you're either one of the heroes or you're Zargon, the evil overlord. So it pretty much is just basically, he's the DM. Even in the book, they say he's the GM, he's the game master. He's the DM before you know what a DM was, because you're 12 years old and you haven't played D&D yet. He's exactly the DM. Zargon sets up the first room of this board. This board, gigantic, one piece, modular, before there was modular. Sets up the first room of a board. You start on a stairway. You got these 4 guys. Zargon's got a little map book. This should sound really, really familiar to anybody who's played any of these dungeon crawl quest games. You're the 4 guys. You're the good guys. You start at a stairway. You roll dice to move. Yeah, I know. There's furniture in the rooms. It's little frickin' cardboard furniture pieces that, to my 12-year-old self, was the epitome of all cool. And this is a very subjective term to me when I'm 12, saying the word cool. Zargon sets up the board. He reads the dramatic text. You move around the room. You roll your dice. You move 1 square at a time. You can't move diagonal. It's very, very simple. You get to a door. You look through the door. You open the door. You look down a corridor. That doesn't matter if you say you're going to look down the corridor or not. The book says you're supposed to say it, but Zargon's going to be so excited that he finally gets to put more cardboard and plastic furniture that he's going to put it down anyways. There's more furniture down there, or there's a bad guy down there. There's an orc, or there's a goblin, or there's a zombie, or a freaking huge gargoyle, which is by far one of the coolest things my 12-year-old self had ever seen. This little guy right here, which my son now tells me I have to paint. Great. So anyways, you got these 4 guys. You're going through the dungeon. You move down the hallways. There are traps. There's exploration. You can decide you want to search for traps. You want to search for treasure. You attack bad guys. You roll dice. They roll dice back. It's you versus Zargon, or you and your friends against Zargon, or me playing Zargon and me playing against Zargon on the other side. It was really sad for me when I was 12. So anyways, you're doing all this stuff. There's a quest book. You're going through. There's flavor text inside. It's really, really simple. You search each room once. You want treasure. You get stuff for getting treasure. All the stuff for getting treasure is written right here. There's no cards. You're not dealing with any bullshit character advancement. No more hit points or anything like that. You pretty much either buy stuff at the end of the quest or you don't. It's got notes in there for saying things like, Zargon, hey, if you killed everybody, do something else next time. Maybe take out some of the monsters. They give you a little quest book, but even at the end, quest book, they give you a blank page. They gave you a blank page because this game is out of print, right? That's why we're talking about this, because you want to know what HeroQuest was so you can decide what HeroQuest is. So anyways, the game is fun. It's exciting. You're running around. You've got 4 archetype heroes. You've got a barbarian. You've got a dwarf. You've got an elf. You've got a wizard. The toughest decision you're making in this game. You're always moving in the same order. It's 1989, mind you. So it's, you're not choosing who's going first on each turn. You're rolling the dice. You're trying to make somewhat tactical decisions. Which monster do I kill? Do I want to search? Do I want to pull something out of this deck that might have monsters in it, or might have a potion in it, or might have gold in it, or jewels in it, or God forbid, God knows what else. It's really fun, really fast. I love Descent. I love Imperial Assault. I love Gloomhaven. My kids play all those games. They have, somewhat attention spans. They can figure out what's going on. They're 5 and 7. 7-year-old Ash loves Gloomhaven, loves Imperial Assault, loves Descent. They both really dug HeroQuest. They both worked together as a team. They were both helping each other out. My daughter's yelling, I got this, don't worry, easy peasy. And, then 2 seconds later, she's yelling, Ash, I need some help over here. The great thing about this, for me, I'm not going to say it's a better game than Descent. I'm not going to say it's a better game even for kids than Descent or Gloomhaven. I'm going to say it's easier to set up. It's easier to take down. If I need to play it, if I want to play a game with my kids, a quick dungeon crawl game, and they're excited to play it, we can't play D&D. We don't have an hour to set up Imperial Assault, or we don't want to remember where we were in a campaign storyline in Gloomhaven and set everything up. Or figure out of all the millions of characters we have for Descent, which bag is everything in. HeroQuest, you just pull the stuff out of the box. You set up one room, you can break it down, you look it right up again in the book and just set it right up again. It's got a board. You know how easy that is for somebody who's sitting here on a table that has Gloomhaven set up on a second level, because I don't want to break it down because it will take me an hour to do that, and then another hour to set it up. The next time my son says, Daddy, can we play Gloomhaven today? And my daughter says, Gloomhaven. But it's got a board. So here's the thing. You take this, everything's set up on it. You move it over to another table. You put it high enough so the cat doesn't get on it. And then you just pick it up again after dinner. It's great. It's easy. There's not a lot of tough decisions. The toughest character advancement decision is, do I want to buy one of 7 items or something like that? Or at the beginning of each quest, there's 4 elements for the spells that the good guys have, right? You've got, what are they? Earth, air, fire, nougat, right? Water, whatever. But you've got the 4 spells. The wizard picks 1 group of spells. And when I say group of spells, these are not decks. These are groups of 3. Literally, each element has 3 spells in it. So you're picking a group of 3. The elf player says, okay, I'm going to take this group of 3. So you've got air for the wizard, water for the elf, and then the wizard takes the other 2, nougat and peanuts, whatever the hell they are. And that's it. That's their toughest decision on character planning. They've got all their stuff. I wouldn't get this game if I didn't have kids. Let's just go that way, okay? I wouldn't rebuy this game if I didn't have kids. I've rebought it before when I didn't have kids, but that was before we had things like Dwarven Forge terrain, cardstock terrain everywhere, minis super cheap. You can get anywhere, pre-painted, whatever. But back in the day, this was like the epitome of cool. One thing I will say about it, the old school cardboard furniture saves you a lot of work if you already had this stuff. But as a parent, the biggest thing for me is that it's super fast to set up, super fast to take down. We finished one quest. We did it over 2 days. I think we played half an hour each time. Both kids loved it. It didn't bog down their attention span. They weren't going too much all over the place. And they were both pretty much engaged the whole time. There aren't agonizing decisions every turn. But it's pretty easy to just coach little kids along. It's pretty easy for you as Zargon, because if you're a parent, you're probably going to be Zargon, to make decisions that aren't too obviously easy on the kids, but obviously make them make good choices to help each other out. You can suggest them. There's not a ton of rules. You don't have to learn what every single thing does. These games, this isn't Elder Scrolls, whatever the hell video game is out there right now. This is Gauntlet. This is run at things and hit them. You know where your goal is. It's probably, if your door that you're looking for isn't in this room, it's probably in the next room. My kids found out that they went through 5 doors, 5 rooms. They went all the way around this thing. And then they were like, oh, crap. There's no door in this room. I guess we have to go all the way around. I bet it's in the middle room. Bang, done. Whole game probably took, our first game ever learning it over 2 sessions probably took about an hour and a half. And that was pushing it with kids being tired and stuff. It's coming back. I'm not going to pre-order it. I might rebuy the expansions because I missed out on those the second time I rebought this game after my parents had trashed the first one the day after I told them, sure, you can get rid of all my stuff. And I thought, oh, maybe I'd really want some of that. Yeah, anyways. Damn it. So, yeah, I might re-get the expansions. Re-get, that's a word now. But I'm not going to rebuy this, but I'll probably get the expansions in retail if it comes to that. I've already got the base game. If you've got kids and you don't think they're ready for D&D, and now my kids play D&D. If you don't think they're ready for Descent, my kids play Descent, or Gloomhaven, then this is a really good entry point for something like that. If you think they might be interested, or if you're trepidatious about D&D or getting involved in a game, all these games are about $100 now. This game's going for $100. If you think that you want something they're going to grow into, go for something else. Go for Gloomhaven, or Descent, I think, is coming out with a new edition, or any of the million other dungeon crawlers out there. But I don't think that's most parents. I think most parents saw HeroQuest back in the day, maybe were intrigued, maybe played it, want something that's Hasbro. They know it's going to be pretty much family friendly, and it is. There's not a lot of rules. If you're an adult and want a nostalgia trip, grab a 6-pack of beers. It's so simple to play that it requires so little thought. You could play this just hanging out with some friends with some beers with the TV on. It's not a big deal if you just wanted something to do, or if you just want to kind of relive those glory days of playing HeroQuest by yourself when you were 12. So, it's coming back. I'm thinking about the expansions if and when it comes to Target near you, or wherever the hell it's going to go. I don't think this is going to end up in game stores or online game stores, or, you'll find it on Amazon, I'm sure. But it's a really fun game. And we're going to talk about the new version and what I think about that, and how Hasbro's releasing it, and if you should decide on that one in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. You can find me at slightmisplay.com. You can follow me on Twitter at slightmisplay. I've got a Patreon, I've got a Ko-fi if you want my next videos to be a little more well written, a little more well produced. I'm looking to get some better equipment and just to get better at this. So any help you can provide would be greatly appreciated. Onward.